The Wandering Waters patch brought a lot of new things, and if you still feel lost around it, here's a top 5 hard supports that are easy to play and can give you great results in your ranked games. We divided this guy into 3 playstyles: aggressive, defensive, and anti-meta. It all depends on how do you prefer to play or what do you think that your specific game needs. Aggressive. If your carry is planning to play a strong laner like Ursa, Lifestealer, or Dragon Knight, you might want to play aggressive as well, so you can stomp the lane with these heroes. Jakiro. This hero received huge buffs on the latest patch. Now, you'll always have Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost from the start. Try to use Liquid Frost always on enemy heroes, since it slows and amplifies your damage, and use Liquid Fire just on towers or enemies that have super low health and you want to secure the kill. The other mega buff is Ice Path with the new facet, Icebreaker. It increases the duration of Ice Path to 6 freaking seconds! And wait, there's more! When Ice Path ends, it detonates and deals additional damage and mini stuns. You can also click the skill again if you want to detonate it earlier. You can go with Dual Breath, Liquid Fire and Frost, and then max out the Ice Path for a great aggressive laning phase. Mirana. This hero is quite strong during the early game. She does great damage with poking, and her innate ability increases the healing factor of Lotuses, so be sure to fight for them with your carry. Mirana received a new facet called Starstruck. It basically increased the damage of the second Starstorm Meteor, but the real thing is that also gives a 60% miss chance to your opponent for up to 5 seconds. This is great against right clicker offlaners like Razor, Abaddon or Dragon Knight. This pick is even greater if you have carries that can help you land the arrows like Chaos Knight, Sven or Dragon Knight. Be sure to build auras like Mechanism, Solar Crest or Drums of Endurance depending on the playstyle of your heroes and the progression of the game. Defensive. Sometimes playing defensive is just the best, especially if your carry is not that strong in the laning phase. Antimage, Phantom Lancer or Spectre are carries that you might want to secure their lanes and farm as much as you can with these heroes. Dazzle. One of the most buffed heroes of the patch, his skills got lower cooldown, his defensive facet has been improved, making your carry almost unkillable with the shield and extra armor from Weave. This is great for a laning phase if you want to play ultra defensive. The Poison Bloom facet tends to be better for the mid and late game. But the real deal is his new ultimate, Nothel Projection. Basically, Dazzle separates from his body and can cast all his spells without being compromised. You can get closer to secure the Poison Touch or Shallow Grave, or do more damage with Shadow Wave. Warlock. This hero didn't receive great changes like Jakiro or Dazzle, but it received increased base damage, so you can poke your opponents with more efficiency. Shadow Ward is one of the best healing spells in the game. It heals up to 450 hit points, and don't forget that it works like Ion Shell. It does damage to enemies and heals allies that are close to the target. He scales great in the late game with Fatal Bonds, Upheaval and Chaotic Offering. Go for defensive items like Glimmer Cape and Force Staff. Anti-meta. Are you tired of dominant heroes like Lifestealer, Dazzle, Beastmaster or Abaddon? Just go for Ancient Apparition. The only weakness of this hero is his laning phase. He's pretty weak, or at least it was. Now, the hero does more damage with Chilling Touch and applies more stacks of Death Rhyme, which, combined with a Bone Shield facet, produces even more strength from the enemies. You can go for Cold Feet at level 2 and then max out Ice Vortex for slow, damage amplification and even more Death Rhyme stacks. This hero works great with stunner carries like Dragon Knight, Chaos Knight or Alchemist. The playstyle for him is very aggressive, but try to position it safely, because he's very fragile. If you can't get kills in lane, try to do some double stacks in the small and ancient neutral camps for your carry in the outer jungle. It's super easy to do it with Ice Vortex. If you like the guide, please follow us and let us know which role do you want next. We want to continue creating more Dota 2 content for the community.